Okay, Atomizer rundown. Check this out. Okay, so first you have the 801. This is a large atomizer. Usually comes like this. It has a very soft plastic rubbery type of tip. If you want to drip in it, about 6 to 7 drops at the very most. 7's kind of pushing it, so maybe 6 drops directly inside. Pop this back on. They also sell carts for it. Look like this. You take this off. There's usually a filling in here, but this one's missing the filling. You fill that up until it's almost overflowing. You take it and you pop it right on there, and then you vape. That is the 801. Quite old now. I think it was one of the original electronic cigarette atomizers. This is the 801. It comes with a standard battery, makes it look like a pen basically. And there are other variations of this, but they're basically 801s. Female connection, rubber top with the cart. Comes with the cart's usually in some sort of casing like this, but standard comes with just a rubber tip like this. Awesome at high voltage, not so great for me at 3.7, and they're also pretty expensive. Next, this is the one that I started on, was an 901. Carts are the same style as the 510. This is usually filled with some sort of polyfill. Dripping works the same way. You just take your juice bottle, drip only 2 drops basically on these. Unless they're brand new, you can do 3 for a while, and then it'll start leaking out of this hole right here, which I hate. I started on these. My first e-cig was a Trog screwdriver, and I loved it. But then I eventually moved on to what most people's favorite atomizer is, the 510. This one looks short, small. Some of you will have a little bit longer atomizer, and it'll have like a silver gold band right there. It doesn't matter. They all perform basically the same unless they're resisted differently. And we'll get into that in a different video. So 510s, they have a cart. I usually take the filling of the cart out. I do a drip. I put about 3 to 4 drips in here, and then I vape away. These also work with drip tips. There are many drip tips you can buy where you just put the drip tip on, and you won't have to take the cart off, and you just drip directly into the hole. 901s and 510s have the same opening, so if you have a 510 drip tip, they will fit on a 901 just fine. 801s no, because they're extremely wide, and you can see here they are super huge. Finally, what I've moved from the 510, a KR808D1 atomizer. Cartomizer. They are kind of, they're actually very cheap, much cheaper than any of these other atomizers. They last just about as long. They perform as good as a 510, if not better, and they're much less of a hassle. Check out the Cartomizer Novice video for information on the Cartomizer. The 510, the Cartomizer, the KR808's got so popular, and everybody loves the 510 atomizer, that everybody just kind of has 510 devices. They took the Cartomizer, which you needed an adapter for a 510. They made a 510 Cartomizer. As you can see here, they have the same battery connection, male connection, but the difference between that and this is a Cartomizer. I'm actually missing my plastic top on here, that should look much like this, but it looks like this, so don't be confused by that. They look like KR808 Cartomizers. They're basically the same length. Let me just grab a top so that you don't get confused. So yeah, okay. So here's a 510 Cartomizer. The ones I got from Vapor for Life, I think maybe low resisted, so they don't work too well on high voltages, but they work great at low volts, at the standard volt, which is 3.7 volts. So yes, that is your rundown. My recommendation is 510 or 510 Cartomizer or KR808D1 Cartomizer. Remember that the KR808D1 Cartomizers are female connectors, and you will need some sort of adapter to use them on your battery or device. These have the same connection as the 901's female connection, but sometimes they don't work right. It'll either cut off airflow and you won't be able to get a draw out of them, or the center post isn't high enough and it doesn't make the connection. So my favorite way is just to use an adapter, and my adapter of choice is Health Cabin's adapter. That's healthcabin.net. That is the rundown. If you're wondering, I am now primarily using KR808s with a mouthpiece. And yeah, that's it for the Atomizer rundown. And happy vaping.